March of the Integrals, starring Agnes and Bonaventura. Our story begins with Agnes and Bonaventura trying to raise their egg on the wind-swept plains of the Arctic tundra. 5 weeks had passed since the penguin doctors had said their egg was ready to hatch, during which Agnes and Bonaventura had spent many sleepless nights wondering when their dreams would become reality and they would finally have a penguin child.
Eureka!
Cried Bonaventura.
I know how we can get this egg to hatch.
How?
Asked Agnes.
We take it to the wise penguin who lives in the mountains and ask for his help.
For many days and nights the two penguins struggled up the tall mountain with their precious cargo. Eventually, they crested a peak and saw an igloo all alone on the barren rocky slopes, with an old penguin sitting outside.
Oh, wise penguin, how can we hatch our egg?
Pleaded Agnes.
In order to hatch your egg, you will need to solve this integral. But be careful, it is unlike anything you have ever seen before.
Boomed the wise old penguin. So Agnes and Bonaventura returned to their humble abode on the frozen tundra with their egg and integral. First they tried U substitution to evaluate the integral, but it didn't work. Next they tried integration by parts, but were quickly flummoxed. Finally, they tried using trig IDs to evaluate it, but even that failed.
Oh no, we'll never solve this integral and hatch our egg.
Sobbed Agnes. Bonaventura sighed.
I hoped it wouldn't have had to come to this, but there is one more option. We can bring it to the dreaded Cover-Up King, who lives in his cover-up cave.
Oh my god, surely not.
Said a visibly shocked Agnes, but Bonaventura was resolute.
We must go to him for help.
So Bonaventura strapped on his penguin pack and jetted off to the peaks of Partial Fractions, where the Cover-Up King dwelled in his secret cave. After searching high and low, Bonaventura stumbled upon a cave set deep in the mountainside.
Maybe this is where the Cover-Up King lives,
he whispered. As Bonaventura entered the cave, the Cover-Up King leapt from the shadows and confronted him.
Who dares enter my secret cave? It is I, Bonaventura, and I seek your help in evaluating this integral. Why, that's the easiest integral I've ever seen. All you need to do is use partial fractions. First, factor the denominator. Then, separate the fraction into two components, one with a as the numerator and one with b as the numerator. After that, solve for a and b. But take it home to do so, for you need to evaluate this integral together. To evaluate it, you just need to cover up one of the components of the denominator and solve for a or b by plugging in the value for x that makes what you covered up equal to 0.
So Bonaventura brought the integral back home to Agnes, and they sat down together to solve for a and b. By splitting the integral apart, they found values for both a and b. They then put a equals 3 and b equals 2 back into the original equation and factored out the constants. They then found the integral by using their advanced knowledge of natural logs. Finally, they simplified the solution with the rules of natural logs.
Don't forget the plus c.
Cried out Agnes.
Don't worry, I learned too much from my basic calculus teacher, the great and powerful Oak Squint, to forget that.
Laughed Bonaventura.
After solving the integral, they proudly displayed their results to the wise old penguin, who reminded them there was more than one way to skin a cat. They could have also cross-multiplied and then used algebra and a system of equations to solve for a and b values.
Integral solved. Agnes and Bonaventura hatched their egg. It was through partial fractions, being a fighter, having teamwork, and that pit bull attitude that they managed to become parents.